Pilots, for as long as you've been following me and this channel, you know I've been really wanting to make Vultures do something other than make me mad. And I immediately saw Exia and thought this was our Lord and Savior. But as we play tested and theory crafted, it just wasn't coming together, right? And I'm sure a lot of you have also tried. That's why you've looked at my Vulture videos and just paid attention, period, to see if I would come back to this, right? Well, I have. So I do have a list. I have a list. And I think it might be doing something. Winning a new type challenge, I didn't say that. Don't go into this video saying this is the best list ever, right? But this is something that I've been testing, and it's doing something. It's pulling out some wins here and there. It's coming up with some good game state, some good trades, some stats on the board. It's looking like it could be Christmas. And if this is any indication, along with one or two more cards from '04 or '05, then we might be there with this formula. But so far, this is what I got, and I wanted to share with everybody. And I definitely want to encourage you to do two things for me this video. One, I never say this shit. I never say it. But I'm halfway there, guys. I'm halfway to being monetized, and more than ever. At first, I didn't ever think it would be a thing. So that's why I never asked anyone to subscribe. But this time, I gotta ask. Because I'm halfway there. I don't want to reveal exactly how many I got, but I'm halfway there. So if everybody likes what's going on here, you like my sense of humor, you like my takes on decks, please, one time for the boy. You know, if this gets 200 subs with one video, I'll never ask again. We'll be there, right? I don't want to keep repeating that. But please do your boy a favor and do that. Second, when you see this deck profile, take it with a grain of salt. Play test it yourself. Don't just look at the list and then leave and go, it sucks. Try the list out, play test it, change it. Do whatever you got to do. But then come back to your boy and let me know if you find something better. I'm not a genius, but I do like card games and I do see combos where I see them. So without further ado, let's get into it. Please like and subscribe and let me know what builds you're rocking with for GD03. Starting off, this is a CB Vulture deck, if the intro didn't give it away, right? So starting off with my favorite CB card on the low end is Vulture. We do run two of the pilot, and this as early game aggression or early game blocker under the correct circumstances has come in handy more than I would like to admit. So for that reason, we need to run four. Not only that, but we need CB cards because we are running Trans Am on the top end. So I picked a select few Vulture CB cards that I wanted to max out, see, use, play, and also not feel bad for discarding to get Trans Am up and running. And then next, I was running 3, but it started getting clunky. 2 Ryusei Go. This helps us filter our hand, and is also just an extra little unit that can trade back into gems. We never ping anything else. Just ping this. Don't ever put anything else in danger for this draw effect. Always ping it. It's not worth it anyway. It's only good for trading into gems or taking a shield if there's no bases. So we don't want to max out on this piece of the package. However, it does help us filter our hand a bit, so it goes in. Next, we got your boy, Baby X. I do have some winter ones, but I'm still play testing the deck. If the deck continues to perform, then I'll bling it out. I got some stuff, but I need to make sure that this works first, and would like y'all help. So we're going with Baby X. This is one of our only Vulture cards. I know I said it's a Vulture deck. I know. But hear me out. A lot of the vultures aren't good, and they're so situational that they're better off not being there, and you run something better in instead or fits the motif, right? So we definitely only went with the 3 baby X's and 3X divider. Chaos, you said this was a CB Vulture deck. It is. And only with 6 cards, because these 6 cards are super important to set each other up for basically reoccurring monsters. Like, these reoccur each other in so many ways that putting extra stuff actually kind of clogs what you're trying to do. You only want to search for this stuff. Anytime you see Leopard and you're under 7 cards, it feels bad. And are you really trying to play it that late in the game? Maybe if it is for game, but a lot of those cards need you to have X amount in the trash to do a thing. These 2 units reoccur each other, and they don't have a requirement outside of payment costs in order to cycle each other. Playing this early with Garad gives you a 4/6 when it's paired. And a 4/6 to me sounds like a Freedom Gundam on turn 4. Yeah, it doesn't have blocker, but your opponent really doesn't want to destroy this either. And they're going to have a hell of a time doing it. 4/6 that early in the game? You need Grandpa right now. Or he's going to eat up like 2 or 3 people trying to get destroyed. And then when he finally gets destroyed, you just go and get the X divider back. And then later on in the game, you can play the X divider to bring this back. So these create a nice little gameplay loop. And with the mill that we have in the deck and the specific search, we usually always at least see like this, right? Like maybe 1 baby X and then 2 X divider. And that's enough to be annoying. When your opponent starts running out of units and you just keep reoccurring this small package, this has done more than what I thought it was going to do initially when I put this together. Sadly, no big X's. We don't need it. We just need to feed this loop and play the rest of our CB cards, and the game plan is actually very smooth in action. Moving on to more CB cards. We had to max out on this one. It has a pretty decent stat line. It's the opposite of Baby X. Instead of being a 3/4, it's a 4/3. And this will help us beat up people, because this with Setsuna puts us at 7 AP for 3, and you can swing with it. That kills a lot of things in the deck, like period, in the meta. A lot of people do not see 7 HP. And this with Setsuna swinging, he gets the +1. This turns into 7. That's powerful. For 3, by the way, for 3. So just that alone makes this unit very worthwhile. So we maxed it out just like Vulture. Once again, just another piece of the CB tree. And we do run enough CBs in order to get Trans Am running pretty efficiently. Speaking of the boy Exit, the key piece of the deck, you want to see at least one of these on curve. Get that mill going and get that trash flowing. And then I also play 2 Vulture. And that card comes in handy way more than what I thought it would as well. Because as you notice, some of our units are pretty weak, but they're pretty sticky. 4/6 body is pretty sticky. And the fact that you can play this the next turn and then pump up that and it goes to 6/6. And then anything that battles this that's level 5 or lower just gets popped. You want to kill it, but you better kill it with the correct unit. This package is just good enough for the 5 costs. This is where if you were running a white deck, then you'd be running L strikes there. But I like my mill. And then the top end of the deck. So Trans Am alongside we gotta do it like that, right? Trans Am alongside Gundam X Divider looping just right under this allows us time to, if we haven't hit this on curve, we can then start our Gundam X Divider loop, and then when it's full and we're ready, right? Then we can bust out the Trans Am. It should be good to go. Now we have suppression online, and we're also destroying something. So this is the point of the deck. You stall out by not blocking this time. There's white in the deck, but it is definitely not a blocker. The only blocker we have is the baby Virtue, and that's under certain conditions. But really and truthfully, we want to be pressuring the board with this gameplay loop right here. And if you're familiar with Digimon, you know about like the loops that Purple can do. Well, this is Purple's first true loop, because discarding this for this and then continuing to pressure until it dies, and then getting this back and then playing this to bring this back out. Come on, guys, this is crazy. If they destroy that before they destroy this, you can pair this again and then get this back. Like, this is the first loop that we've seen in the game, and this does work. And it is annoying when your opponent can't get out of it. And then by the time they actually dwindle your resources, you should have Trans Am online. And I will tell you, if you get that other game plan off and then you slam Trans Am, that's when the game is kind of over. Like, it's just too many resources to have to out. The deck does depend on a little luck, but just like any mill strategy ever created, you can kind of cater to your luck, right? So that's the units. And then for our bases, I've tried a combination of things, but nothing feels better than just playing Frieden. And there's something really special about this being a level 2 cost 1, because if we're going second and we open up with this card, I immediately play this. This is like a poor man's overflowing affection. I can just play it and draw a card. No, what's the blue card, the new Upstart Goblin. But no matter what, I get to play this turn 1 if I'm going second, draw a card to my hand, and now when you bust this, that's 2 more cards. So that's 3 cards in the trash immediately from this being busted. A lot of things only need X amount in the trash in order to do specific stuff. I don't want to give too much away, but I'll show you some cards towards the end. But yeah, for that reason, we don't run anything but Frieden, man. Free up the Frieden. This is what you need. It's one of the only other things in the deck that just freely mills. It just has a steeper cost, but pretty good utility. If I could run 5 Frieden, I would. I definitely would. We run 2 of the boy. Since we run a total of 6 units that he can pilot, the 1+1 is pretty nice all around. Makes both units 4/4s, and you can smack into stuff, or in the case of the blocker, at least this way, when you trade the 4/4 into something and hopefully kill it, you at least get the +1, and it's in here because it's a CB as well. So might as well have some good usage. If I wanted to replace this pilot, I would replace it with Xehanort, because in that way you would get the mill too. I do like it because it has a CB name, but maybe the mill is more important in the future of the deck, to where this gets cut completely and we put in the Xehanort from Vagan. I hated this card at first, and I thought that it was one of the reasons why I hated Vultures. Now, with the gameplay loop that we have, This card has to be at 4. Not only does the discard, right? Most of the time, you don't want to discard anything. You want all your precious metal, right? You want precious metals. Shout out to Big Crit. You want those cards, right? But now you get to filter extras of the CB or Vulture pieces out of your hand in order to look for more of the loop. So you can get, the faster you establish the loop, the better and smoother your gameplay is going to be as you progress and play tempo. So for that reason alone, it had to go to 4. And the +2 health, right? This matters. Once again, turns Baby X into freedom stats, 4/6. And that's powerful. And when you can do that as early as turn 4, and search and filter and fill your trash for CB cards, most of the deck is CB. All we want to be doing is throwing them to the grave or using them efficiently to trade and put them where they need to be. So no better thing to dig for than your loop. And then once you have your loop, you can stop digging. You can stop digging and then stop using the effect. You don't have to use it all the time. But the fat HP plus the ability to look for your loop inside the deck, it's pretty powerful. My boy, don't laugh at my half and half playset. One of my teammates got me these from the pre-releases, and of course I got these from the structure. I didn't go to any pre-releases, he went to all of them. But I got the card, and they look nice, so fuck it. This guy is crazy. This guy being our first, I want to say our first, I think it's our first technical 3/1 pilot. It attacking and just giving that +1 AP to go to 3 in any unit that he's in. He doesn't care what unit he's in. He just says attack +1, and then if you have more CB guys in the field, in the graveyard, give everybody +1. At least all of your CB cards, right? But him being able to push anything to 3 on attack nullifies a lot of people's big booties. And that's kind of crazy. They at least started introducing pilots with 0 AP and 3 HP, which I think is definitely interesting how we'll go forward into that. But yeah, so 2 of the Leonard and then 4 of these boys will get the job done on the pilots. And then we're towards the end. We're going to say it backwards. Yeah, we're going to do it backwards. All right. We're going to do the pyramid backwards. Here we go. You know, when we're in white, it's tight. And I told y'all there was something white in the deck. But this is just too good. Being able to filter your hand, draw 2, see 2 more cards deeper into the deck, and then being able to discard anything, a piece of your loop to set it up, or one of your CB cards to get to Trans Am pretty fast. One of the best white cards to come out, and I have been trying to find a deck to fit it in, and this is the deck, because since we get the restand pretty often with the 5-cost Exia, we want a couple commands that we can play reactionary with, and this is a pretty damn good one. And it staves off early aggression. It spins back anything level 4 or lower, so we don't even have to worry about weenies, because instead of using this on weenies, we want to use this on bigger units that our opponent played like 3 or 4 for. But get that up out of here. We use these for the weenies, which we can get online pretty damn fast, and even when we can't, it'll kill the little guys and we'll be all right. And then for the one of, I kept going back and forth about what I wanted to run for my one of, and I think I found the perfect card, because with our loop, I kept fighting myself not having enough pilots to continue the loop. But purple got a card, and I had forgotten all about it, but now it's here and it's amazing. All you need is one. And it works. Try the deck out. Tell me what you think. Thank you for the longest. Probably, no, I've done longer than 20 minutes before. Y'all will be all right. You'll be all right. Test the deck. Try it out. Use it on a sim. Use it on a friend. Do what you got to do. But I think this is the closest that I've gotten mill/discard/ do something in purple that feels different than ping. And this feels different than ping. This feels like some Zombie Master, Yu-Gi-Oh, Myotismon, Digimon type stuff. I'm close. The archetype's close. I don't think we were just looking at it correctly. Peace. Please subscribe. Please do it. Help me. Help